You can see the Heidelberg materials, locations, facilities in the Pennsylvania and Virginia regions on the Bulk Exchange platform. I'm here today at their Western Pennsylvania head office. I'm going to visit a couple of their sites over at Rich Hill and Springfield, which is just behind the main office here. I'm going to talk to Jay Mizack. He's the regional head, and some of the other technicians and sales reps that work with Heidelberg in the region here. Heidelberg are a global leader when it comes to cement, aggregate, asphalt, ready-mix products, other products associated with the heavy civil space. They're also a global leader when it comes to ESG, sustainability, and products with EPDs, which we're excited to highlight on the Bulk Exchange platform. So I'm honored to be invited to meet the folks here today and check out some of their sites. All right, so I'm here with Jay Mizack. Jay, thanks very much for having me over.
No problem, Paul.
I'm in the beautiful state of Pennsylvania, visiting our partner Heidelberg Materials here at one of their facilities in Connellsville. Jay, would you mind a quick explanation of what you do here at Heidelberg, how many years you've been with the company?
I'm the Vice President / General Manager for Western Pennsylvania. I've actually been with the company for a little bit over a year and a half, so fairly new to the organization, but I've been in the construction materials industry for almost 25 years.
Any estimator contractor like me in the heavy civil space, what would you like folks from the industry to know? What makes your operations unique? What makes you guys stand out in what you do?
Well, what's unique about our operations here in Western Pennsylvania? Well, we have 5 quarry operations, 3 of which are underground mining operations. We mine a very special seam of stone called the Loyal Hannah, and here in the state of Pennsylvania, you need to mine this geology in order to meet certain specifications or certain DOT requirements. The other 2 quarries that we operate, only one of which is in Pennsylvania, does not meet these requirements, and obviously it has a very different customer mix than what we do out of these 3 underground mines. So we have a very special hard stone that we mine here, and it's predominantly used in the asphalt market.
Are there particular materials that you guys offer? You mentioned the hard rock type material. Other types of products that make you guys stand out here or at some of the other plants?
I would say the area where I think our products stand out from our competition is on the ready-mix concrete side. Earlier today, you and I were talking about EPDs and the focus on low carbon footprint or anything we can do to reduce carbon footprint. With the amount of recycled materials that we're able to push through our ready-mix concrete products, I would say we're probably best in class when it comes to using alternative recycled products through a ready-mix concrete without compromising quality.
I guess on a personal front, what excites you, Jay, about what you do?
The people. Been in the industry for almost 25 years now. Really have never even thought about leaving the industry since I've been here. But I got to say, the one thing that stands out, the one thing I enjoy the most is the people, whether it's the people I work with here at Heidelberg, whether it was the people I worked with at my previous companies, or even just the interaction with our customer base. Fantastic people, and just, everyone wants to work together to try to figure out the best way to get projects done.
Well, I can see why you have the reputation you have. We say it all the time at Bulk Exchange, relationships are paramount in this industry. These are new tech solutions that we're all leaning into, but ultimately it's the people. That's always going to be the foundation of all this. And I guess when I'm touching on technology, the Bulk Exchange and new tech solutions like you guys are partnered up with us here, tell me about your own philosophies on keeping an eye on what's next and leaning into what's next.
So I was actually at a class last week, and I think in the class they had mentioned that, the work environment that we deal with today, I think we have 5 different generations of people that we're working with. It's not 5, it's 4. So it's a large number, and I think when you look at the older side of generation Gen X and going all the way to the younger generations, there are different expectations, there are different behaviors. What we really need to do is we need to focus on the up and coming generations and their behaviors and their expectations and the way they like to conduct business. Because I think what we're doing today, to a certain extent, it's going to continue. You're always going to have that human interaction, and in fact, I think we want to maintain that as an industry. But I still think you have to cater to the next people coming up, whereas I would, rather than pick up a phone, rather sit down in front face to face and have a conversation, whereas someone who's coming up who's maybe 25, 26 years old would rather send a message than even pick up the phone. And I think we have to figure out what do we need to do to make sure that we're able to interact with the commercial world and that younger generation that's coming up to make sure that we're still successful in making the connections that we need to make.
Well, I agree 100% with everything you said, and that's what we're building here, is giving them the visibility visibility and the search tool to be able to find your locations and see your products and your prices and get connected. Where do you see the industry headed for the next 5 or 10 years, Jay?
Well, man, the industry, what I can talk to specific in Western Pennsylvania, I think we've got a lot of construction work coming to our area, a lot of it being driven by cell phones and things like AI. And the amount of energy that is needed to store this data is just massive. And I think when you look at some of the investments that are being made in this area with new power generation using natural gas as an example, really kind of a paradigm shift for me, whereas, anything with coal-fired or gas-fired power generation was viewed as negative. Well, we're building the largest natural gas-fired power plant in the United States right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's starting now. And this power generation is going to be used to fuel the data centers to be able to support where technology is going. And I think where these data centers are going to be going, not just in Western Pennsylvania, but as an industry, I think we need to prepare ourselves for what is the customer base looking for when you're looking at power generation, you're looking at the midstream of being able to move natural gas or to be able to send electricity in different parts of the grid. How do we maintain and build that infrastructure up? And then how do we cater to the folks that own and want to construct these data centers?
We're affiliated and partnered with a bunch of schools across the country. What advice would you give somebody starting out today, getting into this industry?
Be patient. One, there's a lot of opportunity for anyone who wants to come in and join this industry. I think there's so many different career opportunities and something that you're not just coming here for a job, you are truly coming here for a career. But in doing so, I've noticed there's a lot of young folks that are always looking for that next raise or the next title, and are they really spending the proper amount of time in any one position to really become good at it?
Yeah.
Or when down the road, when they have the big opportunity, are they ready? So I guess the one piece of advice I always give people is, hey, it's great to be ambitious, it's great to work hard, but be patient and spend the time to learn.
Yeah, well said. All right, Jay, well, I can't thank you enough for having me over, and we're extremely grateful to have Heidelberg Materials and your facilities in the Pennsylvania and Virginia area on the platform. I look forward to taking a trip out with your guys to look at some operations happening. So thanks again.
Thank you for having me.